Welcome back, everybody. BJ here from BJ Drinks Beer. And it's been a while since I've done a stream, but it's been too easy to not do streams, and I figured I'm gonna force myself to do a stream tonight. I have a couple beers in the fridge, a couple THC beverages. Don't know really what I plan on drinking, but I know what I'm gonna start with. So this one is I think it's new to New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been available in PA as far as I know. And this one is from Trogs. It's a 5%er. Trogs Pennsylvania Lager. Now this one comes in two packages. It comes in 6-pack bottles and it comes in 12-pack of 16-ounce cans. And it's a pretty cheap package. I mean, the 12-pack at the store I got it at was 21. Um, so for a 12-pack of pints, that's not bad. I mean, that's not more than the price of a 12-pack of domestic 12 ounces. Uh, so it's definitely an economy package, if you will. It was heavy to carry home, but yeah, this one it's one of those things where if it's a good beer, this could be like an every weekend kind of package. Let's see if it's a good beer. Not much going on the can. Right. So you can see color-wise, it's about the color you would expect from a lager. Maybe a little bit lighter, but it's what you would expect. Quickly receding head. All right, on the nose. Uh, Everything you would expect in the aroma of a lager. You get that sweet breadiness. Maybe I don't know if I got any. No sign of bitterness or anything, but it does have that sweetness to it, which there's a lot of different kinds of lagers, and what I mean by that is like there's lagers where it's very sweet up front and bready, and then there's no relief in the back end, and that just stays with you. There's lagers where it's got some bitterness in the back end, to cancel out that the sweetness. uh, there's lagers where there's so little flavor intensity you can't tell what's going on. Uh, but this one, based on the aroma, this one is going to have some flavor intensity. Let's give it a try. Ooh. Yeah, as you would expect, you get that sweetness up front, but it's not overpowering. Um, Very smooth. You get that subtle breadiness, and then you do get a good hit from the hops in the back end. You do get a little bit of bitterness there to cancel out that sweetness and leave you with a little bit more of a dry mouth feel, mouth, whatever. A little bit of dryness in the back end there. Yeah, very, very drinkable, very clean. A lot of lagers, if they don't have that back end bitterness to cancel out that sweetness, the sweetness and the maltiness just kind of leave it tasting a little funky, but the hops come in nice in the back end and kind of balance it out. Yeah, the flavor intensity is from a 5%er, this is pretty much what you would expect, if not a little bit more flavor intensity than you would expect. It doesn't taste watered down at all. Um, it doesn't taste light. Like it tastes like it has a little bit of meat to it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, very straightforward. From a bulk package like this, you wouldn't expect it to be anything silly, and this one isn't. It's very straightforward. It's pretty much everything you would expect out of a craft lager. Um, and I've had craft lagers before where they're kind of aiming more for the domestic drinker, and it's just not the same without that back end bitterness to balance everything out and leave you with a dry finish. Oh, that was weak. Sorry. I'll do better later. If you're enjoying this video, finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. And while you're at it, why don't you give my other channel a follow? If you're a wrestling fan or you just can't get enough of me, follow BJ and DG Talks Wrestling on, let me try to get this right, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. If you've had this one or anything else by Trogs, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting, maybe it's something you might want to try, maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, now we could possibly be out of it right now. I There was two 12 packs left when I left on Friday, and who knows. But this one will be regularly available at Joe Canals in Marlton. Rating. Rating. Without considering the cost efficiency of this package, not bringing that into the equation, if you gave me this one and didn't tell me what it was and asked me what I thought about it, I would say uh 4 out of 5. This one, it doesn't get to the point where it's too sweet on the front end, and the bitterness is just right on the back end. It bounces out very nicely. You know what I mean? It's lighter and easy drinking. Yeah, I've had better. Um, but yeah, this is definitely a 4 out of 5. And then when you bring into the equation what I was talking about earlier, that this was a $21 12 pack of pints, yeah, then this one actually, the affordability and the convenience of this one actually probably would pump the rating up for most people. But yeah, if I were just rating it, just if I was rating it blind, didn't know what it was, 4 out of 5. If you haven't had anything from Trogs, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. You will not be disappointed. Um, Perpetual, very, very good. I don't know if you'd call it a West Coast or an American style. Actually, no. Technically, I don't think it's an IPA. It's not an India Pale Ale, but it is an Imperial Pale Ale. I don't know if that's the same thing as an IPA, but it drinks like a West Coast or American IPA. If you haven't had Perpetual, definitely recommend you check that one out. Very, very good stuff. Troganator, what do they got? That Graffiti Highway was very good. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, Trogs, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Mad Elf or anything like that, but Trogs, they're good for the occasional banger, and what they do on the regular is really, really good stuff. And from what I hear, the brewery out in Hershey, PA. Yeah, the brewery out in Hershey, PA is a very good time. I hope to someday make it out there, but as it is, yeah. uh, but yeah, so that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. But stick around. I'm not going anywhere. I've got a couple beers to drink. I've got some THC beverages. I well, it's already midnight. Oh yeah, I guess I did start at midnight. Um, yeah, yeah, we're having fun. We're hanging out. If anyone watching has any questions or suggestions, why don't you go ahead and leave them in the chat? Also, yeah, so speaking of questions or suggestions, I have two beers that I'm trying to decide between to drink next. There is a 7.8% IPA, and then there's another IPA that I don't know the ABV of. The first one is from a very, very good brewery in New Jersey that I don't drink enough of, honestly, but I'm not really into the IPAs as much anymore. Um, and they're from a little further north, so you don't see them as much in this area. But so I have one from them, and then I have this other one from another brewery from North Jersey, like who just made their way down to this area about 2 years ago and started distributing. And the new, um, no, 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 sorry, the original head brewer, I think it is, who's still with the company, started a new brewery in collaboration with. I think that's how I understand it. But so I have two IPAs, and I'm probably going to drink both on this stream. But I don't know if anyone has any suggestions based on that description. Go ahead and drop them in the chat. And this one I'm probably going to finish because it's just like a crushable little lager. So I would feel bad not finishing it. But yeah, 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 yeah. I did nothing today. I was super unproductive. I pretty much stayed awake long enough to get hungry, and then I ate way too much food, and then fell asleep for another 3 hours. And then I pretty much, like, when I was awake, I just watched YouTube all day and, like, you know, wasn't doing stuff that I should be doing. But I need those kind of days every once in a while. But still have to do those things that I did not do. I sang some karaoke last night. That was weird. I after the show at the Pro Wrestling Star Academy in Mount Holly, New Jersey. We made our way, the grueling journey of one block to Stratosphere. And it was karaoke night, and I am a guy who likes all kinds of different music, obscure, mainstream. I like all kinds of different stuff, and I have opinions, you know what I mean, or I don't. But apparently, to the karaoke guy, I'm the guy who likes Ween, and it all started a couple weeks ago. What? Went to the karaoke night, and he was closing. I had no intentions of singing or anything like that. He's closing out, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a Ween song," and I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, and he like saw that I like, he like saw that and was like, "Hey, I got another Ween song. You want to sing it?" And I was like, "Sure," and I killed it. It was amazing. Uh, and I don't want to talk too much about what song because I don't want to make that knowledge public. But yeah, so now I'm labeled like the guy who likes Ween and like will sing Ween songs. And if you haven't heard Ween, I recommend like definitely doing some research before diving in head first because I would say about 60 to 70% of their catalog is complete garbage, but 30% of it is some of the best stuff I've ever heard. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we get there, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll sing a Ween song. And I was like, you got this one? I can't even remember what it was. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Don't want to mention it. But yeah, so I sung that, and it was fine. And I think I was like finishing my beer and going to leave, and he's like, "Hey, man, you got to do this one." I was like, "All right, fine." By that point, I was a little intoxicated. Didn't go so well. There's video footage that I refused to watch. But yeah, some karaoke, and I get like the appeal of karaoke now, like to non-musicians. Like I'm a musician, or at least I have been at times in my life. Um, and you know what I mean? There's a certain rush you get from playing, and it's like a combination of like adrenaline and anxiety and like euphoria all at the same time. And singing karaoke, you definitely get that to the full extent that you do playing a song as a musician. Especially like with other people. Like it doesn't just happen when you're practicing, but like when you're in front of people or you're around people, playing with other people. Um, so I definitely like got that, and I like actually said to my friend who I was there with, I was like, I get why people like love karaoke now. Like it's it's a rush. But as a musician, like it just makes me want to like play music and and instead of sing along to someone else's song. It makes me want to. But I get it, um, and I don't hate it as much now. I used to hate it. I'd be like, yeah, well, I can play a bunch of different instruments. I don't need to sing karaoke. But now I get it. I understand. Um, it was fun, but yeah, that last one wasn't. And my problem was I knew all the words to the song. I just didn't know the order of the verses. So, and of course, you know me. If I'm singing karaoke, I'm not looking at the screen. Thank God by that point in the night, because that closed out the night. Place was empty except for two staff and like three people I know. So, it was just being goofy in front of friends instead of like totally botching in front of a bar full of people. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this right now. I'm kind of feeling an IPA since nobody had any suggestions. All 2,000 of you watching. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and yep, that's the one I want to do. All right, BRB, LOL. All right, so this next one here is an 8% double IPA. It's called Heavy Spectrum, and it's by Second Favor Brewing. Okay, stay with me. Second Favor Brewing Co. Brewed and canned by Magnify Brewing in Fairfield. So apparently, the head brewer, the original head brewer of Magnify, has started his own thing that he's brewing out of Magnify in North Jersey, not the one down here. And I think maybe, I don't know if they're converting to Second Favor. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but that was the brief conversation I had with the Magnify salesman this week. I'll see him again in another month. Uh, by the way, uh, there was a wrestling show at the Magnify in Medford last night, and I have not heard anything about it yet. but I don't know why I'm bringing that up. I just like I remembered about it. I was at a different wrestling show. Uh, but yeah, like they have wrestling promotions come in and do shows at Magnify Brewery, which is like 6 miles that way. Um, but yeah, which is awesome. It's great that breweries like do stuff like that and promote local wrestling promotions. There should be more of that, but a lot of these breweries are tiny, so Magnify is one that does have the space. Um, I wish that a lot of other ones that did have the space would do a little something. I'm looking at you, Double Nickel. But anyway, that's my rant. Yeah, super curious about this one. All of the IPAs that I've had from Magnify have been pretty much on the verge of being mind-blowing. So, I would imagine that this one would be no different, it being the person who like is responsible for the recipes of all of the amazing IPAs that I've had from Magnify. So, let's go. Oh yeah, and nothing much going on here. Heavy Spectrum. I have a love-hate relationship with this stemmed pint glass that I bought when I was super hammered one night there and regretted the next day. But like now I'm like falling in love with it all over again. Uh, but it just seems so like fragile. It's like you never see a pint glass with such a tiny little stem, it's a long, tiny stem, Like I feel like I'm gonna break it and I'm gonna hate myself when I do it. Not for breaking it, for buying it to begin with. Let me get a light behind this because it's obviously not clear. Come on, come on. There you go. Oh wow, yeah. So you can see this one looking like orange juice. All right, on the nose. Orange juice. Hold on. Oh my God, yeah, like very citrusy. Maybe a little bit of blood orange in there. Maybe some tropical notes too. I'm very, very curious as to what this is hopped with, but I'm not gonna look it up until after. Um, I can almost guarantee Citra, but I've been wrong with that before. So, and there's also something like, I mean, the citrus like or citrus aroma is definitely up front, but there's also like something like a bubblegummy kind of aroma behind that. Let's give it a try. Oh, wow. Okay. First thing I noticed, super thick on the palate. Very, very. Oh, okay. But I saw some floaters. You know how I feel about sediment. Anyway, yeah, no, super thick on the palate. Like compared to that lager I just drank, it's like drinking a milkshake. Um, very, very. Come on, words. Yeah. really understand what I'm tasting here. Like, this one's kind of backwards. You get like the bitterness kind of more so up front with a little bit of sweetness, and then the bitterness fades. And yeah, that's bizarre. Definitely not as citrusy in the flavor as it is in the aroma. Um, I mean, I guess is it bitterness or booziness that I'm picking up front? It might just be super boozy. I don't know. This one is like throwing my taste buds through the loop. It's something weird up front that I can't identify, but it's like not the most pleasant. And then yeah, then the bitterness comes in super early. The booziness is low key, but it's definitely there, and it kind of works in combination with the bitterness. But that unpleasant flavor is separate from the bitterness and the booziness. It's like a weird bready, fruity, just funkiness. Um, Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Yeah, the aroma I'm getting like fruity, citrusy, but then I don't know what that is up front. And it's between that up front and the bitterness and booziness. Once that fades, you get like a subtle sweetness. But the citrus, the citrusy aroma is no indication of the flavor. Um, if anything, I'm only picking up very subtle citrus notes. Ooh, I feel like this is one that after all said and done and it warms up and I drink it like because I don't finish it now and I finish this portion and then get to it. Like I feel like this is gonna be one that I can taste better once it warms up a little bit. That's right. And since you're here, I know exactly what's coming up next. And that's going to be very soon because I'm going to put this one aside and I'm not going to continue to rate this one at the moment because really what I'm getting, I don't understand. I need to reset the palate with something a little lighter. Yeah. Yeah, what is that funkiness? I don't know. We'll get back to that. Ah. Uh, yeah, be right back. Stop it before that little solo part. All right. So this one I've reviewed before. This is a more laid back kind of thing. I'm not I know it's if anything it's only changed very slightly since the last time I've had it and if I remember correctly, it was a very clean, easy drinking lager with some lemon zest kind of with lemon, lime and orange peel. Yes. So there was almost like a Fruit Loops kind of like flavor in the front end, if I remember correctly. Oh man. Yeah, so this one is a 4.5 percenter. I always do that from Wanderback Beer Works. Breeze Summer Lager. I see why you guys gave me that bigger glass now. It's always a roll of the dice. Ah, all right. So this one, yeah, like I said, if I remember correctly, last year, I think I may have rated it probably a 4.5 out of 5. I don't remember exactly. Um, but I remember really enjoying it and unfortunately not getting around to picking up a six pack for myself because, well, it sold out and then it wasn't available anymore. But yeah, I do remember really enjoying this one. Can't wait to get into it. As you can see, no need to put a light behind it. You know, it's got a little bit of haze going on. Most of that might be condensation on the glass. Yeah, yeah, yeah. On the nose, lemon lime, more so the lime. And then what else? Orange peel. Okay, yeah, it's believable. But no, more so the lime and the lemon, and then like maybe the orange peel and the aroma. Let's give it a try. Yeah, just super smooth lager, but you get hit with all those citrusy notes, with the subtle citrusy sweetness, um, and nothing in the back end to really balance it out too much. It's just you know all that sweetness up front, and then it kind of fades a little bit throughout the sip, and that's what you're left with. But excellent flavor, and that combination always reminds me of Fruit Loops. And now, as I take a couple sips, like that's kind of what it tastes like to me, just not super artificial and weird. But yeah, yeah, very bright, obviously, very crushable. A little thicker on the palate than you would expect, but that doesn't take away from the crushability. Yeah, very balanced. Neither the citrusy notes or the breadiness overpowers each other. They just kind of combine perfectly. And now that I take a couple six, now that I can get it together. Now that now that I take a couple sips, I'm definitely picking up minimal hop and back end hop bitterness, but it's definitely there. Um, just I guess it's just doing its job in the background and balancing everything out. What I really like, what I really like about this one, as you go in for the sip, you know, and as you breathe in and take in the aroma just before taking the liquid in, you get you get that Fruit Loop blast, and then as the liquid comes, the it dies down in intensity a little bit and kind of blends with the breadiness very, very well. That was a long walk for nothing, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, Yeah, this is definitely like a poolside beer, outdoor, warm weather, you know, chilling with your feet in the pool kind of beer. Uh, Excellent stuff. I already said this isn't like an official like review, so I'm just gonna say, um, I'm gonna stick with that. If I'm assuming I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Um, I think I may have given it a 4 out of 5. I don't know. Regardless, yeah, this one definitely we haven't had the weather to really enjoy this one correctly, but yeah, given the right weather, the right situation to throw this back, um, 4.5, about 4.5 out of 5. It's it's like a better Sam Summer. Yeah. I know, man. It's frustrating. Like every weekend, you go through a week and it's like 80 degrees all week, and it's like, all right, man, this weekend I'm gonna do this outdoors, I'm gonna do that, and then like Friday afternoon the rain comes, Saturday it's just overcast and in the 50s all day. It's like it's getting old, man. We need that summer weather. And it's May, as Justin Timberlake tells everybody. Um, or if that's who it is. I don't even know. I see memes. Um, but yeah, like yeah, we need that to happen. Um, got a lot of I have no idea what I was just about to say. Oh my God. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stuff is excellent. I just need the right opportunity to drink it. Um, this is it's still a 4.5 out of 5, even though I've been sitting in my apartment all day and just started drinking like an hour ago. Uh, um, Now that I've cleansed the palate a little bit, let me get back to this second favor. I think I have that. There we go.
1 hour later.
There we go. I can do it. All right, on the nose. Nope, because now the weird funkiness that I was tasting is like in the forefront on the nose. It's like overripe pineapple. I don't know, it's weird. Hold on, I got to burp before I take a sip of this, or else it's gonna be disastrous. Yeah. All right. No, 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 no. Got worse. Got worse. Got worse. Let me dump this. Be right back. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like maybe it's me, like one out of every like seven IPAs I have has that weird, funky, like bready flavor that I just really don't enjoy. Um, it could just be me. I've been drinking a lot more lagers and pilsners lately, but even like when I was drinking a lot of IPAs, like one out of every 20 different IPAs I would drink would have that weird, funky breadiness. And I thought it was like maybe like like an allergy or sensitivity to a certain malt or hop or whatever. Um, but it took me a while to realize this. Like a lot of times, I'd get a beer out and be like, this tastes like oily and buttery, but I know it's not DO. Or maybe it was DO. Um, but then other people would taste it and be, or like smell it and taste it and be like, tastes fine to me. So I think, I don't know. I don't know. Which doesn't, because I review stuff, so that doesn't really, I mean, even though it's just one guy's opinion, who knows a lot of stuff, it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Because I'm sure like someone else could try that and be like, "Oh, this is amazing." But like to me it's like I don't know, like pencil shavings, but like funkier. I don't know. I don't know. Words. What do they mean? Don't let this get cold, by the way. It's tough because it comes in pints, but sorry. Don't let this get warm. Once this warms up, it starts to, yeah, no. Yeah, that's a great beer if you drink it ice cold. It's been sitting for about 20 minutes, half an hour now, and it's kind of revealing itself. Um, I didn't. Yeah, if that would have warmed up anymore, it would have been gross. All right. What do I have in there? There's a couple THC. Oh, there's another IPA. So I am going to be super hungover tomorrow morning, which is not very good because I have to wake up and like actually do stuff which requires brain activity. Um, but yeah, this is the perfect opportunity for this next one. Ooh, that burp! I got a lot of like citrusy, like the fruity pebbles flavor. Fruit Loops, fruity pebbles, whatever. Fruit Loops. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, it's not enough of the like Fruit Loops flavor to be too much, and it's a perfect blend of that and the breadiness. It really balances out really well. And as it warms up, I'm maybe I have some residual hoppiness from that last one that's on the back of my Ian, it's in the back of my mouth right now, but yeah, I think it's more so the other one. Anyway, 45. I've been on just 46 minutes, and oh man, I'm putting the work in, doing the research, so my customers know, and all of you know what's what. Yeah, so I think I am going to do that one next. I guess I'll reveal what it is instead of vaguely describing it. This next one is from Icarus. It's a 7.8% Imperial IPA, and it's called Camel Clutch. Be right back with that one in just a minute. All right. This next one, like I said a minute ago, is this next one is from Icarus. It is a 7.8% Imperial IPA, and it's called Camel Clutch. Of course, it's wrestling themed, so you know I have to try it. Clever marketing. Ow! Oh, looking thick. Oh, my hairs. At least I know it was mine, right? All right. I'll get a light behind this one because it is clearly not clear. Oh man, it's a button. Yeah, super hazy. Not quite that orange juice looking kind of haziness. Bleh. Doesn't quite have that orange juice look to it, but definitely super hazy. On the nose? Ooh, okay, yeah. Notes of mango, pineapple. Whoa. Notes of mine. Let's try that again. On the nose. Notes of mango, pineapple, picking up some citrus in there. Yeah, very tropical. Um, but the bitterness is also there, which is when you pick up that bitterness in the aroma, chances are this one's going to be on the bitter side. Let's see. Yeah, wow, really enjoying this one. It's got almost like a passion fruit kind of flavor up front. A little bit of pineapple maybe. But then yeah, the bitterness on the back end isn't overpowering. It just kind of balances everything out. Yeah, uh, maybe picking up some blood orange notes. Definitely like passion fruit blood orange. Mainly is what I'm getting in the flavor. Um, on the back end, yeah, the hops are just enough to balance it out. I wouldn't think this is any more than like 20 or 30 IBUs. Uh, very meaty, very thick on the palate. Not a crusher, not one that you're gonna finish in a couple minutes. Uh, very sweet up front, but not too sweet. Um, the Not very malty at all. Um, yeah, the prominent features here, the sweetness up front and the thickness on the palate. That's mainly like the two things that stand out the most to me about this one. Yeah, flavor intensity is what you would expect, and that is what you would expect at 7.8%. Um, right now it's a little too much, and I think I'm just gonna coast through this and take my time finishing up this one because this is not one that, especially after that, this is not one that I want to like put down that fast. Um, but yeah, like I said, very thick on the palate, picking up a lot of different notes up front. And did they list? I didn't even. Okay, here we go. So the description. Heavily oated and wheated Northeast Imperial India Pale Ale, hopped with New Zealand Nectaron and Citra Incognito. Copiously dry hopped with Nectaron, Strata, and Cryo Cashmere. Okay, so this one has a lot going on as far as the hops. Um, but mainly, okay, so we got Nectaron, so you're not going to get a lot of bitterness on the back end from Nectaron. Citra, you will get some bitterness on the back end. And dry hopped with Nectaron. Strata, I know that's one of the more dank hops. I'm surprised I'm not picking that up. Even though it's on the back end, I'm surprised I'm not picking that up a little bit more. And Cryo Cashmere. Cashmere is also one of the more dank, earthy hops. So yeah, again, even though it's on hopped on the back end, I'm surprised I'm not really picking up the dankness or that earthiness. Yeah, very bright, very citrusy, and not very dank, bitter, or earthy on the back end at all. Lot of flavors going on up front, uh, but, the, prominent, the prominent flavor would be like a fruity, citrusy, tropical flavor. Um, gonna burn. Am I? Probably. Okay. Yeah. Um, I do not believe there's anything more I can add that I have not already said. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is DJ Drinks Beer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. And hey, while you're at it, since this is kind of a wrestling themed beer, you know, uh, while you're at it, why don't you give my other channel a follow? BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. It's a wrestling channel. We talk about wrestling, and I don't know where I was going with that. Hold on. While you're at it, why don't you give my other channel a follow? BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, or if you just can't get enough of me, go ahead, give me a sub. That sounded weird. All right, moving on. If you've had this one or anything else from Icarus, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought of it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Go ahead and leave them in the comment. If you would like to find this one, if you would like to find this one, I can't currently help you. Uh, we at Joe Canals in Marlton have just seen the Nicorette salesman for like the first time in like 2 months. So we're just touching base and getting back in with them. I can tell you this though, arriving I believe Tuesday, drinking crayons and yacht juice. Some favorites from Icarus. Can't wait. Uh, Drinking crayons is an amazing IPA. Anyway, this isn't where I was going with this. What I'm saying is, we don't have this one at Joe Canals in Marlton, but there's a possibility we could, and hey, we will have Icarus back at Joe Canals in Marlton. Um, Rating. I give this one a 3.75 out of 5. The flavor is very good. Um, just falls short of what I would consider, delicious. Uh, yeah, it drinks like you would expect it to. Very thick on the palate. I mean, heavily oated, obviously. Um, wouldn't call this a New England. I would call this more of just a hazy imperial. Uh, yes, just short of a 4, 3.75 out of 5. I've had better from Icarus. Uh, I've had better in general, but yeah, I've had better from Icarus. Uh, these guys are capable of way better. It's hard to compete with the flagship and drinking crayons, but yeah, this one falls short of my expectations when it comes to Icarus, and also it falls short of my expectations from an Imperial IPA. I didn't mean to sound like a jerk there. Yeah, no, 3.75 out of 5. I'm a little disappointed. But if you haven't had anything from Icarus, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. Drinking Crayons is probably in my top 5 all-time IPAs, and Yacht Juice is probably in my all-time top 10. And if you guys know, I've had a lot of IPAs in the last 7, 8 years. So um, yeah, this one I've, I've already moved past that. Yeah. Yeah. Got juice, drinking crayons, and hey, come get both of them at Joking House in Marlton this week. Uh, Come holla at me like late Tuesday or like Wednesday. Yeah, I got you. But yeah, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. But stick around. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna talk about stupid stuff. It's gonna be fun. Um, I'm gonna look into something. Hit the button. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here, I guess. I guess they're starting to kick in now, and I just kind of forgot what I was doing and everything. But yeah. If any, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Yeah. Everybody, I am commanding you to check out BJ and DG Talk Wrestling episode number 72, I believe. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Uh, you can find it. I have faith in you. So everybody check that out. And but more importantly, Tuesday on that channel is going to be a very, very good show. So yeah, if you're into the indie stuff, you might want to check that out. But yeah, watch everything you can. Um, yeah, thank you to everyone who gave me all of these samples. I appreciate it. And oh no, well that wasn't a sample, but I drank the sample, so I ended up buying the package because I really like the beer. So yeah, so the Trogs, by the way, that's not the first time I've had it. You know, I know, my acting might have been amazing. You would have never known. But all of these other, sorry, not that one. Yep, these other two, that's the first time I've had. But the Trogs, yeah, I had to buy it. Uh, but it was my decision. It was like, this is a good package to buy for the weekend. And I've literally had two and gave one away. So, so I have 9 beers left for tomorrow. Um, So everybody tune in at 5 o'clock to BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. No, I can't get hammered tomorrow. I have to write a script and do like life stuff. I even have to like leave the house to shop, which is something I don't often do. So yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. But hopefully I don't do that hungover. Anyway, whether you tuned in for 2 seconds and then we're like, yeah, no, this guy's drunk, or whether you were with me the whole time, which I don't think anybody was, but props if you were. Um, yeah, I appreciate it. And I've been slacking on this channel a little bit. I haven't been putting the effort into it that I have been putting into this. And I got to admit, it's been difficult. I'm on camera so much here, and so it's hard to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do my thing and be on camera. Um, but yeah, I I'm not gonna make any promises right now because like it's gonna be busy from here on in this month, but I will try to find time to do the beer reviews, to do the live streams, and to bring you the content that you expect from me as a faithful BJ Drinks Beer follower. Unfortunately, right now, BJ and DG Talk Wrestling is doing amazing things. Some really good things are happening over there, so it's really hard for me to just take myself out of that and just be like, oh, yeah, back into the kitchen. Here's this, here's that. Not only that, I have so much work that I do for the channel that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really tough to do anything else besides work a full-time job and run this channel. Um, my PlayStation died a couple months ago, and I was just like, don't care, too busy. And so, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna do everything I can to be more consistent, even if that means, and I've thought about this possibility, doing like individual reviews again, um, maybe daily, maybe. Uh, but it's just as much as I'm on camera. You know what I mean? It's tough. So I got some stuff to figure out, but what I'm saying right now is don't give up on BJ Drinks Beer. BJ Drinks Beer is right here, and you're going to continue to see BJ Drinks Beer content. Just not as much. Let me not even, add anything to that. You're going to continue to see BJ Drinks Beer content. It's just right now, I got stuff going on. Uh, this second channel takes up way more of my time than the first channel. The first channel, I can just be like, oh, I'm drinking beer. Hey, yeah, I should review this. Yeah, let me pop the camera on. Uh, it takes no research. It takes, it's more expensive. Well, it's become more expensive, the beer channel. No, because I get samples. I don't know. But yeah, it's been tough. But I will continue to bring you content. I have, and like, as long as I'm drinking beer and selling beer, not even selling beer, as long as I'm drinking beer, I will continue to bring you beer content. Yeah, but check out the wrestling channel because it's dope. Like, you know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff going on. We're reviewing, we're interviewing a bunch of local wrestlers. Every week it's someone else, and it's just amazing. It's been so much fun. Um, check that out. But for you beer people, I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and might change it up a little bit, but you know what it is. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Anyway, I wonder if I can. I like don't want to do this, but if I can do this, then you guys, whoever's saying this, I don't think I'm going to be able to add this. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to add that. Never mind. Huh. Hmm. Yeah, like this was really good and all, but at this point, it's like, okay, I'm sick of it already. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't this in a 12-ounce can? Why does this have to be like? I drank probably about 11 ounces, and I would be like, yeah, yeah, cool, I'll take another sip and be done with it. But no, this is an obligation now. Craft breweries, 12-ounce six packs for the regular stuff. If you're gonna put out something like, you know, there are exceptions, but what happened to the 12-ounce six pack for the 12-ounce six pack format? Please, people, breweries, 16 ounces is a commitment. 12 ounces is like, yeah, I'm gonna drink that and I'm gonna drink another one. It's counterproductive. People are like, oh, this is only a four pack. It's 8 ounces less than a six pack, usually for more money. Like breweries, I know there was a logic to it back then, but times have changed and like beer sales aren't what they used to be. Like, please, people, 12-ounce six packs, unless it's something special. You know, like, and 19.2s. Do 19.2s of everything you think is good. But who am I? I'm just a guy who works at a liquor store. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. If anyone who is watching right now would like to uh, hang out after the stream, uh, go ahead and drop a little something in chat, and I can go ahead and send you the link. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish this one, and well, my PlayStation broke, so I think I'm just gonna watch YouTube until I pass out. No, I'll probably get Domino's. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, um, everybody have a wonderful night, morning, day. Yeah, get through the rest of your weekend and make sure you check out BJ and DG Talk Wrestling episode number 72 on at 5 o'clock. And oh, oh. Yeah, and everybody be safe, be good to each other, and I will see you. When will I see you? What's the date next Saturday? I don't think I have anything to do that day. So I'll see you next Saturday. That's all I got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. Wrong button.